Focus, hip flexion, abduction, groin mobility. Stand with the legs shoulder width apart or slightly wider if you can. Squat down and place hands flat on the floor. Now, while maintaining contact on the floor with the hands, attempt to straighten your legs. If you cannot reach straight, that is fine, but the focus of this exercise is not the hamstrings. Return to the squatting position and repeat. Maintain a low squat with hands flat on the floor and pull the knees outwards using the glutes for reps. Hip flexion, adductor strength. Take a dowel and put it over your shoulders. Stand with feet shoulder width apart and legs straight. Keeping the back as straight as possible, push the hips backwards in space and hinge at the hips until your body is parallel to the floor. Try not to round the back or bend the knees unless the backs of the knees are hurting. Return to a standing position. Then go into a stand about half again as wide as your shoulder width and repeat the same movement. Internal rotation during hip flexion. Abduction. Assume a horse stance. The legs should be wide enough such that when you're doing the squat, your knees are above your feet. Feet should be turned out at 45 degrees. Maintaining a 90-degree bend in the knees, hips in line with knees. Push against the floor with one leg, push you in the opposite direction, much like a side kick. This will push the other knee over the supporting foot. Then push against the ground with that leg to go back in the opposite direction. Repeat side to side. Groin mobility, hip flexion, adductor strength. Place one foot on a slider. The slider leg will remain straight as you squat down, pushing the slider leg away from you, much like half a squat. Go as low as you can while keeping the slider leg straight. Stop at the bottom and using the slider leg to pull back towards you, return to a standing position. The weight should remain 50-50 the entire time. Other side. Glute strength, groin mobility. Take 2 blocks and place them on top of each other. Then take a band and place it under the blocks. Sit on the blocks in a butterfly position with feet together and knees out. Take each end of the band and loop them over your knees. Try to keep your hips extended such that your back is flat. Now pull up against the band, pulling the knees towards each other, and pull down away from the band using the glutes. Hip flexion, hip and leg disassociation. Grab a surface, approximately knee or hip height, depending on your level of flexibility. Place one foot on the surface and step far enough away such that the other foot is directly under your hip. Have the elevated leg internally rotated so that the foot is flexed and flat against the surface. Slowly reach towards each foot and attempt to touch the foot without compromising the position of the legs and hips. Now, attempt to lift the elevated leg. Do this by lifting out of the non-elevated leg's hip. If done correctly, your upper body should move in correlation with your lower body. Pulse and hold. Other side. Hip flexion, hamstring extension. Take a similar sized surface as before, ideally about knee or hip height depending on your level of mobility. Assume a wide straddle, feet slightly wider than shoulder width. Place the dowel on the shoulders as we did before. Keeping the legs as straight as possible, hinge at the waist, lowering yourself slowly towards the surface until you're sitting on the edge. Then push back into the floor with the feet and extend with the hips to lift the hips off the surface. Ideally, this is done with straight legs. However, if you're experiencing pain behind the knees or have limited hamstring mobility, bend the legs slightly. Hip flexion, abduction, groin mobility. Assume a 4-point kneeling position with hands under shoulders and knees under hips. Keep one leg bent but lift it, executing a fire hydrant. Attempt to keep the knee in line with the hip the entire time. Next, execute the fire hydrant. This time, hold the leg at the top and straighten the leg from the knee. Attempt to keep the alignment, foot in line with the knee in line with hip. From there, with a straight leg, sweep upwards, maintaining the same alignment. Other side. Abduction, groin mobility, hip rotation, quad extension, hamstring extension. Lay face down on the floor with your legs straight and together. Have your face and your head turned sideways to make it more comfortable. I like to place my head on my hands. In this position, you would choose a leg and bend the leg, bringing the knee up towards the hip, then return to a straight-legged position. Now, with the leg bent at hip height, lift the knee for pulses. Then, beginning from the bent leg position, extend the knee, engaging the quad and stretching the hamstring. Return to a bent leg position, then return to straight legs. Finally, attempting to keep the leg as straight as possible, sweep the leg from the straight-legged position, in line with the hip, and then back towards the straight-legged position. Other side. Groin mobility, hip flexion. Enter a half froggy position, one leg bent at 90 degrees and one leg straight. Place your hands flat on the floor in front of you. The straight leg should be in line with the knee of the bent leg. Place the straight leg on a slider. Push the straight leg away from you as far as possible, hold at the end, and then pull it back towards, and then pull it back. Other side. Hip extension, hip flexion, internal and external rotation, quad extension, hamstring extension. Grab a yoga block or something equivalent to sit on. Sit on the block in as wide a straddle as you can manage. Begin by tilting the hips back and forward. Internally and externally rotate your legs from the hip joint. Flexing your feet will help you understand where in the rotation you are. From here we're going to do a quad extension. Lift one foot off the floor by squeezing the quad, then do it for the other leg, and then do both legs at once. Finally, we're going to abduct and adduct our legs. Place both hands on either side of our leg, then drag that leg back and forward towards each arm. If you can do this with your foot floating, do so. Glute strength, groin mobility. Grab a light or a medium band, generally red or black. Get inside the band as you would a hula hoop and lay on your back, with the band crossing over your lower back and around your feet. Get as much Get as much tension into the band as possible by straddling your legs wide and pulling the band taut around your feet. From there, simply pull the feet apart using your glutes, hold for a beat and then relax. Now go to your maximum range, grab the band and assist yourself using your hands and hold a static straddle.